The United States faces a perilous moment. Political divides run deep. Disinformation spreads like wildfire. Trust in institutions is eroding. The fundamental right to free speech hangs in the balance. The foundation of a healthy democracy rests on the free exchange of ideas, even those deemed unpopular or offensive. Yet we are witnessing a concerning trend toward the suppression and demonization of dissenting voices. When individuals are afraid to express their views openly, public discourse suffers. Defending free speech, even for those we disagree with, is not a partisan issue. It is a fundamental principle upon which our democracy depends. Words have power. They can inspire, inform, and unite. But they can also be weaponized to mislead, divide, and incite violence. Donald Trump's rhetoric, particularly his repeated use of terms like fake news, an enemy of the people, has had a profound impact on public discourse. By labeling any news coverage critical of his administration as fake news, Trump effectively delegitimized legitimate journalistic endeavors. This erosion of shared reality poses a significant threat to democratic norms, as it becomes increasingly difficult to engage in meaningful dialogue and find common ground when truth itself is up for debate. The rise of social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook has fundamentally changed how we consume and share information. These platforms have become the modern-day public square, where individuals from all walks of life can connect, debate, and engage in political discourse. The banning of Donald Trump from Twitter and Facebook following the January 6th Capitol riot ignited a fierce debate about censorship and the power of big tech. Supporters of the ban argued that it was a necessary step to prevent further incitement of violence and protect the integrity of the platforms. Critics, however, viewed it as a dangerous precedent, arguing that private companies should not have the power to silence elected officials, regardless of their views. As these platforms continue to play an increasingly central role in our lives, it is crucial to have open and honest conversations about the limits of free speech online and the need for greater accountability and transparency from tech giants. The erosion of free speech and the rise of authoritarianism are not new phenomena. History is replete with examples of regimes that consolidated power by silencing dissent, controlling the narrative, and creating a climate of fear. One striking similarity between Trump's tactics and those employed by authoritarian regimes throughout history is the demonization of the media and the relentless assault on truth. By constantly repeating the fake news mantra and labeling any unfavorable coverage as a witch hunt, Trump created an environment where his supporters were conditioned to distrust any information that challenged his version of events. By studying the past, recognizing the warning signs in the present, and understanding the fragility of democracy, we can better equip ourselves to safeguard our freedoms and prevent history from repeating itself. In these uncertain times, it is more important than ever to defend the fundamental right to free speech, even for those with whom we vehemently disagree. The freedom to express our views openly, without fear of censorship or reprisal, is the cornerstone of a healthy democracy. Defending free speech does not mean condoning hate speech or incitement to violence. There are legitimate limits to free speech, particularly when it comes to protecting vulnerable communities from harm. It is also important to recognize that the greatest threat to free speech often comes not from government censorship, but from self-censorship. We must create a culture where respectful dissent is encouraged, not silenced. By learning from the lessons of history, recognizing the warning signs in the present, and engaging in thoughtful dialogue about the challenges we face, we can work together to safeguard this essential freedom for generations to come.